Well, I have shortness of breath, and it's gotten worse. A couple years ago, when we were away, and our hotel room was way down at the end of the hall, and about halfway down, I had to stop and catch my breath. And so I reported it to my pulmonary doctor because I knew I had COPD, but this was worse. I was not on oxygen or anything. The shortness of breath had continued. So what happened then? Periodically, I got tested to see if I qualified. I guess if my lungs were bad enough for that valve. I think it was called valve replacement.
Yes.
And I did not qualify.
Okay.
But the last testing I had, a young doctor he spent a lot of time with me, and he explained why I did not qualify. I guess it was good news that I didn't qualify. But I said, what can I do? I have this shortness of breath. I can't have this valve. And he said, try PEP Buddy. And I said, what's PEP Buddy? And he said, you can get it on the website. Just see if that'll help you. He said, I think it might. So I ordered it that same day. And it came, and I've been using it ever since. And I can't tell you how much it's helped me, because I do have a lot of shortness of breath. And I find two things. The shortness of breath seems to come if I feel rushed, which I did this morning because I knew I was running late and I didn't like that. And sometimes just if I have like a long way to go. If I know that I'm going to have a walk down a hallway or wherever, I use it, like before I go, I'll just give it some puffs. However many I feel like that I'm breathing normally or in a good way. I use it sometimes during, like when I'm here doing exercise. And so when I sit on the equipment and do it, I'll use this. Not the whole time I'm exercising, but maybe when I first get started, I'll use it. And then after I exercise, or I also, besides what I do here, I go to physical therapy and aquatic therapy. Now, I do not use it when I'm in the water.
Yeah.
And I don't seem to get short of breath in the water. I do the treadmill in the water. And but when I get out and I'm changing out of my swimsuit, just sitting there, I use it. I use it a lot. That's why I keep it around my neck. Well, it helps my breathing in general, because also, I'm very concerned about my breathing. I don't want it to get the best of me. I don't want to be walking around with oxygen tank. So this helps. Yeah, I do, because, for instance, if I'm running late, or if I have stress from the pain, and that makes me anxious. I'm normally a pretty calm person, but if I feel anxiety at all, even a little bit, I use my PEP Buddy. I also use the oximeter a lot to see if, what my oxygen level. And if it's the least bit, it usually, if it's under 90, but if it's like 81, it'll go up pretty quickly, especially if I use this. So if I test it and my oxygen's only 81, which they've told me it should not be, it should be over 90. So if I just breathe, it will go back up slowly. But if I breathe with my PEP Buddy, it goes up really quickly. Like within a minute, literally 60 seconds, my oxygen level is over 90. Okay, I should say in the morning and at night, I use two different inhalers. One is the Stiletto, and just one puff in the morning, one at night. And then the same with, it's like QVAR. I use that, and that's relatively new. Now, I have a prescription, and I do have the rescue albuterol. I carry it around, but I very seldom use it. I use this instead. This works better. So walking into the symphony, in the music hall, but I go up the steps. Once I get into music hall, it's a walk to our seats, and that normally I'd be winded. But I just get there, and before I start to the seats, I use the PEP Buddy, and then stop using it and go to the seats. And it helps, really does help. It's so helpful. Because a year ago when I didn't have it, I'd be standing there huffing and puffing, trying to catch my breath. It was very frustrating. I would tell them to get the PEP Buddy, and I'm not just saying, truly, it's very helpful. Yeah, I think those two things are what are the best for me, any kind of exercise. And with the exercise, the use of the PEP Buddy really helps because it allows me to exercise more.